Alright guys, welcome to the final prep. It's actually Thursday night, we're going to be working on it tomorrow also, but we've got the coolant leak fixed, I think. I replaced the hose at least, got coolant in there, so we're bleeding it right now. Hopefully we can get that sorted because obviously it's a pain in the ass before. I did move the driver's side hub out a little bit further also since from last time. When I got in there, I was going to move both hubs, but then I realized when I got in there that the driver's side hub indeed was in a little bit further than the passenger side. So I was able to I just moved that one out. Then I did a real quick rough alignment back there because I noticed the camber was off, the toe was off. It's roughed in the ballpark now. Obviously it's not perfect. I'm not too concerned about that right now. I just want to make sure that it drives and doesn't wear tires, so it's good enough. Yeah, we're just going to try and bleed it. Then we're going to drive it again, and hopefully that binding issue is either completely gone or like almost completely gone, because it was close last time. I think realistically, I know for a fact, I know it needs stiffer springs in the back, and I think that'll help because it won't lean over as much. But hopefully moving the hub out did a pretty good deal also, so we're going to see. Okay guys, this is what we're doing today. Mostly just hating life. God, it sucks. So I'm working on this stupid fucking firewall situation. Of course, nothing fits because fuck this company. I did go through, I drilled a bunch of holes and I put basically I started working on the Zeus fasteners because I've got a piece of Lexan, or well I did, but I broke it. So I need to go get another one because of course I do. But in any case, yeah, I did, yeah, obviously I punched all these holes out, got that situated. I've got a hole marked here because the plan is we're gonna have this NACA duct right here in this window. I'm gonna run the tubing down there so it'll go straight to the air intake. But yeah, so I'm gonna have to cut this hole out, and then I'm gonna have to weld just a piece of like 3-inch tube on there just so I can connect it to something. At the moment I need to pull this back out because I need to trim some more on the edges because it's still binding up a little bit, as well as I had to cut this section of metal out because obviously we have a problem back here. It doesn't quite match up, which, you know, I knew that was gonna be a problem because I cut the shelf out too far, but it was so jacked up anyway. It was kind of, you know, it is what it is. So at this point, got to pull the firewall back out, do some welding, cutting, whatever, and then, I don't know, move along. Okay, this is where we're at with this thing. Obviously I got the rear section welded on there. I did weld on a little piece of 3-inch. Warped it a little bit, definitely warped it, but that's okay. Like I said, at some point we're gonna put something on here like carpet or something. I just threw some clear coat on here for the moment just so it doesn't fucking rust. And the bottom said I put black. I was gonna do black in the top, but the problem is it's gonna get so scratched up going in. I was like, well, at least clear coat, you won't really see the scratches. So I'm like, well, fuck it, you know, it'll work. Okay, after a lot of fighting, a lot of wrestling, I got all the bolts in. Everything's actually tight. The cage is actually fully bolted in at this point. And this bitch is actually in there. I did end up fucking up over here because I put a nut cert and then it was in the way of this nut because they fucking put these holes in the wrong damn place. So I ended up having to cut that off, which really sucks. But once I get the other firewall piece in, it'll pull that in, and the other sides because I kind of bent them a little bit to try to get the bolts in. I do need to drill holes through there, put some nut certs so I can actually put the firewall on. I'm not entirely sure if I want to do that right now or if I want to run this thing for a bit, which I might do that first because obviously we still had, you know, a little bit of an overheating issue. But I did notice that the purging funnel, I left it on there overnight and it did suck down a decent amount of fluid. So hopefully, you know, some of that air pocket came out of there. Maybe, hopefully all of it. I don't know, we'll see. Well, I've ran this thing quite a few times. It just kind of like slowly creeps up, you know, in temperature. And I think it just needs another fan up here is my guess. I'm gonna go drive it again to see what it does. But I wanted to put the windows in first because like the seals around the windows are kind of falling apart, and I wanted to make sure that like they're in there. So I started working on the windows, and I got this one together. This is the fun one. They're both gonna be Lexan. This is Lexan. Obviously I put in a NACA duct so we can go into the air intake. Turned out really good. I just need to put this one in, and then this one, this is actually the original glass. I need to still pull the Lexan out of there and put it on the other glass, and then we can put the other side in as well. Well guys, I'm driving it around. It is kind of doing what I was thinking. It gets a little warm when you stop, and then when you're moving, it cools down. So I think it needs some bigger fans, better fans, because that one's kind of a cheap one. It's like right now, I mean, it's still fine because I haven't driven that far, but we're gonna keep driving and see what it does. Okay, I got done driving it. It drove pretty decent. It was, you know, like I said, like when you stop, it would kind of try to get warm. So I think it needs another fan. There was a couple times like I smashed out in it, and like I had like some crazy coolant spikes that didn't make any sense. So there might still be some air in there, but I think realistically, I think this thing needs like an inline, like electric water pump to kind of help out the manual one. I think that would really help, which I'm probably gonna do later on. Right now, nothing to do about it today, so we're just gonna keep pushing forward. I did start working on putting the firewall back in. You can kind of see back in there, I got all those riv nuts I put in, put some of the insulate, or that foam adhesive shit back in there so it won't rattle. I also got this window in. I did screw up a little bit over here and kind of, it was a whole thing. I had a pain in the ass time freaking trying to get the frame on there. And I screwed up the butyl stuff the first time, tried it again, and then I messed up because I don't know what I was thinking. I was trying to clean up the glass because the damn glass would, no tape would stick to it, so I couldn't get it to stay on. I used a little bit of acetone to try to rub a little bit off, and it like totally fucked the finish. It's in a very small spot, I just can't really tell, but it still pisses me off, and maybe I'll have to replace it someday. I don't know. I'm starting to look at this firewall again. I need to put some insulation on there. I already had it in the car and kind of checked it, so I know that I can pretty much put insulation all the way across. It won't be in the way of anything. So I got some new stuff. We're going to put that on there, and then we're going to actually bolt that in, solidly, because it's about that time. Oh man, I've been busy. Got the hood on, built the seat bracket, got that one in there. Obviously got the harness in there. Oh, it's been a lot of screwing around. I did find there was a little bit of transmission oil leak. I fixed that. I did notice this axle, the boot is already torn. It's got a small, little cut in it. So I got to put a CV axle boot in it. But otherwise, it's good enough to make it to the show. So I'm going to take it to the car wash, clean it off, and then I got to clean the Civic and clean up the garage. And then maybe I can go to sleep so that I can get up super early and go to Ice Cream Cruise. And here it is, guys, all cleaned up. I honestly am not entirely sure if I've ever washed this car since I got it, because I've constantly been trying to fix things on it. It kind of looks pretty good. I mean, obviously it needs paint and a lot of body work, but it's, it's kind of shiny now. It's not all dull. I also threw that clear ducting on there to run the cold air into the air filter. But yeah, all cleaned up, ready for the show. Well guys, we're out here. We made it. Car didn't overheat making it to the parking spot, so that's a plus. And it looked good. So yeah, we'll see how this day turns out. Well, guys, we made top 50. Waiting for the line of cars to go in so we can do the car show awards.
That's driving. That's routing. I'm calling them.
All right, we out here at the roll races. Next day, about to race Big Jody here, the rear-wheel drive hatch. See how it goes. Well, guys, that's gonna be a wrap for Ice Cream Cruise. Yeah, we went out. I raced my buddy Joe. Beat him the first time, but I spun all the way down the track on the bottle. So we ran it again, and then that time ran him off the bottle. It only spun like a tiny bit, and it pulled pretty damn good. And I was like, oh, solid. Well, then I did 2 more races with some other guys, and both of them no nitrous. The car absolutely just laid tire all the way down, just spinning the whole fucking way. So yeah, I mean, it is what it is, but at this point, this car's never going back to the roll races. Not like this. There's no way. It's pointless. Every single time I bring a front wheel drive Honda to the roll races over there, it doesn't do good because it just spins. But then you get on the street and it fucking rocks. So it's just that surface is awful. I think, maybe I need to do some things to this to try and make it better for that. But realistically, I think it makes more sense to get this one done. And then this one will be a really good roll race car. This one, I think I need to do some things anyway, because I really want to get back to doing more road course things. And I think that's probably the better direction I need to go with this. We know it needs a limited slip differential. That's been a problem. It was a problem on the road course. Clearly it was a problem today. So I think that might be something I need to look into. Doing a limit slip in that possibly. I don't know. But obviously this one, once we get all this thing sorted out, this thing's going to fucking rock. But for right now, it's still got some issues, but it made it to the show. And, we got top 50, and that's awesome. And nothing broke. Neither one of these cars broke. So, I mean, that in itself is a big accomplishment. Because obviously, I blew up the Civic last year, and it was a mad rush to get it fixed. And then it blew up again at the beginning of the year. So, the fact that it made it, both cars made it, no big problems. That's a win in my book. So, yeah, I mean, it was a great weekend. There was a lot of things that went on and a lot of cool cars to see. If you've never been out to Ice Cream Cruise and you've seen this channel, you should definitely come check it out because it's absolutely worth the time because there's tons to see, tons to do. But, yeah, I think that's going to be it. So, subscribe, do all the things. Peace out.